Hey there, Powder Vibe fans. Welcome to LaConner, Washington, the home of Barefoot Art Glass Studios. Let's go inside and I'll show you a few tips on how you can modify the tips of your Powder Vibe so that you can get the flow rates and the pattern that you want from the tips. Depending on what kind of material that you have, you might need to make certain adjustments. Enamel powders, they'll flow better than glass powders because they have this tendency to flow much easier with a little bit of vibration. And the glass powders tend to be a little bit clumpy. Now, once I get inside, I have a little bit of a demonstration that I can demonstrate this. And a little down in here in the hall. Barefoot Art Studios is down the hall of the Seaport Landing building, and let's go inside. All right, I'm all set up for my little demonstration. And if you have trouble with your Powder Vibe doing exactly what you want, this might be just what you need to get the powder flowing just like you want it. Before I show you how to modify your tips, I'd like to explain a little bit about the powders that you run through them. Enamel powders have a finer grain and a different shape than the glass powders, which are the orange. These tend to slough down, and a little bit of vibration breaks up the clumping and lets them flow a lot easier. Now, the glass powders are a little more angular in their little powder granules, and they tend to clump a little bit more. So those will get caught in the tips a little bit easier. So if you use the original tip, which was designed for the more easily sloughing enamel powders, you might have some clogging. But a quick modification of your tips will allow the flow to be just like you want it. And you might even get some more variety of ideas from this that you will incorporate into your work, because some of these modifications, I don't know if they've ever been shown to anybody. So the original tip has a simple hole, and that was pretty good, but to get the flow from the glass, you need to have that hole a little bit bigger. So you can take a simple thumbtack and just put it in the hole and widen up that hole a little bit. You can go a little bit at a time, and eventually what you'll get is the flow rate that you want. As you can see, it didn't have any trouble changing the line width and all that kind of stuff. It's a matter of your speed and your motion. But the flow, you can see it continued fully and far along. Now, if you want to have a little more volume, what you can do is you can widen up that hole even a little bit more. So, so just simply widening the tip is going to give you a better flow. But if you want to add a pattern, so you have maybe, instead of just one line, you have two lines, maybe one fat and one thin. You just need to have a little something to block the opening on a fan tip, Powder Vibe tip. So fan tips, these narrow, this is a slim fan tip, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of self-adhesive film over the hole. Now where I place it's going to give me the fat or narrow line configuration that I want. So I'm going to do a fat line with a narrow line spaced apart by that much space. So a simple covering of the hole is going to give you some really cool effect. So you always want to make sure you get the glass down to the portion that you want and before you do your lines. And now watch this. Pretty cool, huh? So there's any number of different little combinations that you can do by just simply moving this back and forth. A narrow one, you can do triple lines. You can use, instead of tape, you can use toothpicks. You just whittle it down and then you insert that in there. And you know, your imagination is the limit. As with your art, the same as with your tools. All right, I hope you like that little demonstration, and there's no reason now that you shouldn't get good flow from your powder vide, and might even get it with good 2 or 3 lines. Oh yeah, please subscribe to Barefoot Art channel and you'll get to see all the new videos that I'll be making with this new camera technology that I have that will pan and zoom, and whoa, it's also Steadicam. Isn't that cool? Yeah, well, I'll be using this in my videos, and I'll give you a kind of a natural look as to what's going on with Barefoot Art Glass Studio. Bye.